There's a great tool available for first responders that enhances responders' safety and workload by reducing the likelihood of struck-by crashes and secondary crashes. It's the Towing Recovery Incentive Program, or more simply, TRIP. Parsons and the Virginia Department of Transportation have been managing a TRIP program since 2017. TRIP provides a standardized response to large commercial crashes on the interstates across the country. These towing recovery operators are inspected, vetted, and selected only when they meet high standards in training, equipment, and availability. In this short video, you'll learn when to activate TRIP, how to activate TRIP, and what to expect once TRIP is activated. Where does TRIP work? TRIP can be activated for incidents on interstates within the coverage areas and on ramps, underpasses, and overpasses adjacent to these interstates. What types of vehicles should trigger a TRIP activation? Think big, like tractor trailers, vehicles with a GVWR over 26,000 pounds, motorhomes over 40 feet in length, buses, and aircraft. What types of crashes qualify for TRIP activation? If any large motor vehicle that we just mentioned is blocking lanes, has spilled a load on the interstate, is immobile due to fire, broken axles, impact with guardrails, bridge supports, or has rolled over. Other circumstances: if the vehicle, debris from the crash, or the load is not blocking any of the lanes of the interstate, ramp, or overpass, but the towing recovery operator might need to block part of the road with their equipment to clear it, TRIP should be activated. To activate or not activate TRIP, the decision is yours based on your windshield size up. Remember that it's far better to activate TRIP when you don't need to versus not activating TRIP and being stuck in the road for a second longer than necessary. How do you activate TRIP? The best way to activate TRIP is to contact your dispatcher to activate TRIP. Your dispatchers are already familiar with TRIP and have the phone number of all approved TRIP companies. Let's say you've activated TRIP and the big wreckers begin to arrive. What then? Continue your investigation. The towing recovery operator should check in with the on-scene incident commander before taking photos of the scene and walking around to get an idea of how they'll clear it. This follows ICS protocols. Continue to do what you need to do before the vehicles can be moved, but as soon as you and the fire department agree that the vehicles may be moved, give the wrecker company representative their notice to proceed with their operation. Once you tell them to proceed, they have 90 minutes to clear the crash from the roadway. Take note of the time that you told them to start. If a DOT representative arrives on the scene, they can log all timestamp information. Timestamping duties should be predetermined to ensure all record keeping is accurate. Let's look at a few examples. You've arrived on a call and see a jackknife tractor trailer blocking a lane of roadway under an interstate, near the ramp to the interstate. Activate TRIP or not? Activate TRIP. What if the same tractor trailer is jackknifed and blocking all of a busy thoroughfare about a mile from the nearest interstate entrance? Activate TRIP or not? That would not be eligible for TRIP activation. What about a dump truck that has crashed on the shoulder of the interstate? Activate TRIP or not? Here's a follow-up to that. Does it look like the big wrecker will need to block the interstate to get that truck? Maybe? If the answer is maybe, activate TRIP. Last one. You've arrived at a crash on an interstate to an overturned pickup truck with a fifth-wheel camper blocking lane number 1. Activate TRIP or not? Activate TRIP. Even though it isn't a commercial motor vehicle, it is a very large vehicle that will require a lot of specialized training and equipment to clear. The Towing Recovery Incentive Program, brought to you by Parsons and VDOT, is designed to get you out of harm's way faster and reduce your workload by standardizing the towing response and minimizing the impact to other traffic, thereby preventing secondary crashes. Activate TRIP to get the help you need quickly, safely, and efficiently.